Standing nice and tall on your mat. Wiggle the toes. Feel the heel and the ball of your feet distributing your weight evenly. Take a breath. Inhale and slowly exhale. Knees are over your ankles, hips over your knees, shoulders over your hips. Roll the shoulders up, back, and down. Again, inhale up, back, and down. One more. Continue breathing. Inhale and lift the arms, shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Keep your head above your heart. If it's not a good idea, if you have vertigo or blood pressure issues, you don't want your head below the heart. Otherwise, bend your knees and get your rib cage as close to your thighs as you can. Maybe move your head gently side to side and lengthen the back of your neck. Fold your arms in front of your head and allow gravity to release the spine. Now roll up, drawing the navel in, one vertebra at a time. Shoulders, neck, and head are last. Inhale, bring the arms up, grab a wrist, and lean to the side, stretching the side of your torso. Inhale up, and holding that same wrist, lean to the other side. Inhaling and exhaling. Twist to one side, bringing one hand behind you, one hand in front. Inhale and twist to the other side. Inhale, bring the hands halfway up to your heart center and exhale. Inhale, lift the arms. Exhale, swan dive, fold. Release the neck. Keep your knees soft. Breathing. Now with a flat back this time, lift the chest. That's a chest press or table, and then come all the way up in that reverse swan pose. Grab your opposite wrist and lean to the side, stretching the side of your torso. Hold on to that same wrist and go to the other side. Make sure you stay lateral. Inhale, twist, one arm in front, one arm behind. You can bring them all the way down and then bring them halfway up. Twist to the other side. One hand in front, one hand behind. This is all in preparation for the movements we'll do today. Bring your hands to heart center and exhale. Perhaps you'll turn to the side, or you can continue facing the front. Stand in mountain, nice and tall. Inhale and lift the arms as we did in the warm-up and fold. Chest lift, flat back, and fold. Inhale and step back with one leg, keeping that heel lifted. I'm showing you how you can go through this flow without going onto the mat. So you push back and stand tall. That would be our variation of plank. And then here's a back bend for a variation of hover. And cobra, and then down dog. You're folding, and what you're doing here is avoiding going to the mat in the flow. Chest lift, step forward with the leg that you took back first, and that's a runner stretch. Bring your opposite leg forward, fold again. Get that rib cage as close to the thighs as you can. Inhale up, hands to heart center. And we'll do it that way again. Inhale. If you know the flow, you can go to the mat already. Otherwise, follow me. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale, fold. Step back with the opposite leg and push back. Inhale. A little balance required there. That's your plank and your hover. And then this back bend represents a cobra. And here's your down dog. It's similar with that flat back. You can keep one leg straight and bend the opposite knee. Remember, you can keep your head above your heart or fold completely. Bring the same leg forward. Runner stretch. Opposite leg forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan. Hands to heart center. Now repeat. Inhale, this time I'm going to the mat. You stay up if it's not a good idea for you to go to the mat. Chest lift and fold. Inhale, step back with one leg. Remember the leg you step back with, right? And then the opposite leg goes back. You're in plank. You can go to your knees for hover. Hover. Cobra. You can stay really low with your cobra. You don't have to do a deep back bend, okay? Make sure you're drawing your navel in and do what's right for you. Down dog. You're keeping your shoulders away from your ears. Here I'm pedaling my feet. Then inhale, and the leg you took back first, you bring that forward. Runner stretch. Opposite leg forward, fold. Inhale, chest lift, reverse swan, and fold. Let's repeat that. Inhale, exhale, swan dive, fold. Inhale, chest lift. Exhale, fold. The opposite leg goes back. Runner stretch. The knee can go down if you'd like. And if you need to move your foot a little at a time, you can. Plank. Knees can go down if that's best. Hover. Cobra. Push back, down dog. And breathe. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Heels are pressing towards the mat. Bring that leg forward. Runner stretch. Fold. Inhale, reverse swan. Exhale. And hands heart center. Okay, good. If you have yoga blocks, I invite you to use them here. Put the block to one side. Bend one knee. Keep the knee over the ankle. The opposite leg is straight. Avoid the straight leg foot from rolling in. You're getting a stretch inner thigh. Go to the first side. Make sure you bend the knee and it's over the ankle and you send your hips back and pivot to a runner stretch. And we're doing a push-up challenge here, so I'm going to take the opportunity to do 10 plank hover planks, which are tricep push-ups, keeping my back straight. I'm struggling a little bit. I just taught a class. I'm doing 10. You can have your knees down. You don't have to do any. You can do one perhaps. And then do a cobra. So do as many as it's right for you, but make sure you use good form. Remember, your cobra doesn't have to be a deep back bend. To a down dog. If you're not on the mat, you're still standing and going through the variation we did the first time. Breathing in your down dog. Lift the leg behind you before bringing it forward. This time, runner stretch. Inhale, exhale, feeling the stretch in the front of your back leg, making sure your front heel is down. Come up into a high heel lunge. Your arms could stay low or you can bring them above your head. Then open back up to warrior two. The bent knee is over your ankle. To exalted warrior, that's a reverse warrior. Keep your arches lifted. Warrior two to a side angle pose. Now you can stay up a little higher or go deeper into your bend. Straighten the leg for a triangle pose. Inhaling and exhaling. Grab your block for half moon. Notice the bent knee, the foot stays out for your half moon. Kind of was losing my balance a little bit, so I came out of it and I'm going back into it. You can do these against the wall. In fact, I recommend that you try it against the wall so you can get the feel, what it feels like. You want to stay lateral, like there is a wall behind you, even if it's not. Come back to warrior two and then face the front again. Inhaling and exhaling. Send your hips back. Now you can bring your block to the center here and breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Lift the arms behind you if that's okay. And then come back up. Turn the toes out about 45 degrees and bend your knees, your tailbone going straight down. This will strengthen and stretch inner thigh. Coming up, turn the toes of your opposite foot out. You're opening the hip there and go to warrior two. Warrior two. Back to this horse stance. Lateral stretch both sides. We're about to do the other side. Lateral stretch to runner stretch. Breathing. Step back with that leg into your plank, and we'll attempt another set of the push-ups. What we want to avoid is having the hips sink, and I'm noticing my shoulders are coming up a lot faster than my hips. That's not ideal. You want to keep the body in a straight plane, but I'm not arching my back excessively, just a little bit. I'm struggling. I just taught a class where I did those push-ups, so that's 40 for the day so far. So maybe you do one or two. Maybe you're on your knees when you do them, okay? Go to hover and then cobra. Breathe. Push back to your down dog. Walk your feet closer if you need. You want your heels really close to the mat. Inhaling and exhaling. Lift that leg that went back first and bring it forward. Runner stretch. Come up into a high heel lunge. High heel lunge, your back heel is lifted. Inhaling and exhaling. Open back up to warrior two. Toes of your straight leg are facing forward. Exalted Warrior. I brought my hand behind me today and looking over the straight leg, over that shoulder, to Warrior 2. Inhale, side angle pose. Avoid bringing the body forward. Stay lateral, like you're on the wall behind you. And again, I encourage you to try taking your body against the wall to do these poses. And then I went to triangle, back to side angle pose, and here we're going into half moon. Avoid bringing the body towards the ground forward. You're staying lateral and trying to stack your hips. Use the block as much as you need to. Come back to Warrior 2. Nice. Toes straight ahead. Bringing the hands behind you and fold. If you interlace the fingers the first time, see if you can interlace the fingers with the opposite thumb on top. Inhale, come back up. This time we'll go into a squat. That's different than a horse stance. It's a wide squat. Your hips go behind you. Come back up. Now here's this horse stance. In yoga, it's referred to as sun goddess pose. Instead of sending the hips back, you send them straight down. Inhale and walk or jump your feet a little closer together and go into a deeper squat. Hips really close to the mat. Inhale and exhale. Knees go down. Child's pose. As long as your knees are okay with it and your ankles are okay with it, you can go to child's pose. Straddle. Instead of taking both legs wide, if you feel more comfortable bending one knee and taking one leg long at a time, do that. And you'll do exactly the same thing, just one knee is bent. Come to the center and breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhaling and exhaling. Walk your body over to one leg. If one knee is bent, you're going to the straight leg. Breathe, inhale and exhale. Now take the same side arm inside the leg. Take the opposite arm up and over. Stretching the side of the torso. If one knee was bent, straighten that leg and bend the opposite knee. Come center again. You could use your block here. As you come forward, if you are coming forward, you're trying to hinge from the hip. Inhaling and exhaling. I like that stretch. I could stay there for another 5 minutes, but we're moving on. Go over the straight leg. Straight leg, and breathe. You can hold the leg, or you can take the same side hand behind you and help to push your body toward the leg. Then take the same side arm inside the leg and your opposite arm over your ear. Try and stay lateral. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Now bring the arm up. And breathe. Shake the legs together. Forward fold. Hinge from the hip as you fold. Take Take a few breaths. Sit tall in staff pose. Then bring your feet to one side. As long as your knees are in agreement and your hips are in agreement, twist towards the feet and twist away from the feet. You can leave that hand behind you when you go away from your feet and open the hips, lifting the hips and chest toward the sky carefully. If it's okay, you can do a variation of pigeon where you stay on the hip, or a pigeon, you come off of the hips. Your knees and hips have to be in agreement. Please don't force anything. If it's okay for you to go into pigeon, I invite you to. Inhaling and exhaling. You could lower to the mat if you prefer. I'm staying more upright here. Then fall back onto the hip gently and bring your legs straight again. Give yourself a nice hug. Remember which arms are on top, which arm is on top. Give yourself a pat on the back. Lift the arms and go into gold post arms. Put the opposite arm on top now. Give yourself a hug. Lift the arms. Another pat on the back because you deserve it. If it's okay, lift the hips. This is a reverse plank. I didn't do the twisted eagle arm on that side, so I went back to do that. Give myself a final pat on the back, lifting again to reverse plank. Carefully come down. Now bring the knees to the opposite side. Twist. One side. And then the other side. Lift the hips as long as it's okay. Lift the hips and open. You can stay right here. You could also have a seat and lie on your back to do a variation of pigeon. If this isn't an option for you, please, please, please do not force a pigeon pose. Again, I'm staying upright. Inhaling and exhaling. Breathe. If you feel comfortable lowering towards the ground and hanging out there, you can. That can be divine. I'm staying more upright. Now bring that back leg in and we'll lie supine or prepare to lie supine on the mat. Your knees can be bent or straight. We're going part of the way down and coming up. That's a nice little crunch posture, or you'll go down to your shoulder blades and come part of the way up. You're working the entire time on the way down and on the way up, but your feet or your legs must stay glued to the mat. So pick a version where you can keep the legs glued to the mat. Do about 10. Then lie down on your back and breathe. Now if you were not on the mat, if you're sitting in the chair, you'll have to sit tall. Bend your knees and place your feet on the floor. course, if you're sitting, your feet are on the floor and you're sitting tall, as long as your feet are touching the floor, you can sit back on the chair. Sometimes the chairs, if you sit back, your feet wouldn't touch the floor. Your feet need to touch the floor. If you're in your chair, just squeeze your glutes. If you're on the mat and you can lift your hips and breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Your shoulders are supporting you. Your head is resting comfortably on the mat. If you can, grab your heels or even your ankles and breathe. Carefully, one vertebra at a time, come back down and bring your knees in towards your chest. If you're in a chair, you would bring one knee in at a time. Straighten and bend your legs at the knees. Straighten and bend. If you're on the mat, you're doing both legs at the same time. Keep your knees over your ankles. Do about 10 of those. Now bicycle. One knee coming in, one leg is straight. If you need, your legs are staying closer to the sky. It's more difficult if they're going straight out in front of you. Bicycle. Inhale and extend the legs up towards the sky. Flex your feet, and from your hips, keeping your legs as straight as possible, shuffle your feet. Make sure you're using your core. All of these exercises right now in this series we're doing will challenge your core. Take your arms out to the side like the letter T and bring your knees to one side slightly, because you need to bring them back up and not harm your back. You're keeping your back protected, navel drawn in. Go from one side, back up, and then the other side, back up. Inhaling, exhaling. Now place your feet down, and we'll do a few more. I want you to feel it, what it feels like to work your obliques, the sides of your abdominals, with your feet down and pull those knees back up. So either way is good. I wanted you to experience both of them today. One with your feet up and one with your feet down, bringing your knees from one side to the other. Now inhale and exhale. Just breathe. Bring your hands by your side. Keep them back out, and we'll bring the knees to one side again. This time, we're relaxing the knees in this spinal twist. You can turn your head to the other side and breathe. Inhaling, exhaling. Inhale, carefully bring the knees up. You might have to do a little hop with your hips, moving them to the other side, away from the direction that your knees are going to go in. That keeps your spine nice and vertical, even though it's in a twist from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Turn your face away from the knees if that feels okay, or keep looking towards the sky. And breathe. Inhaling and exhaling. Bring the knees back up. Keep the knees bent if you'd like, and bring your hands by your side. Or you can straighten the legs. Continue breathing, scanning your body. Perhaps your eyes are closed. Move your shoulders further away from your ears and allow your feet to roll out comfortably. Relax your jaw as you take deep breaths. Relax all the muscles in your face and body. Inhaling, exhaling. Feeling healthy and strong. Focused and refreshed. Feeling calm and confident. Start to circle your ankles and your wrists. Bring the arms overhead and stretch your body. Bring the arms down and bend a knee. Turn away from the knee. Use your hands like pillows. Place them under your head as you begin to transition from your practice to the rest of your day. Inhale, staying heavy in your legs. Use your arms to bring yourself up to a sitting position, one that's comfortable for you. Take a nice breath. Inhale. Bring your hands to heart center. Namaste.